So hello everybody, welcome to this general meeting. The topic of today's general meeting is Reve issues. This is a title that was chosen by me, so if you're not happy with it, you can talk to me. I couldn't think of anything better to put than Reve issues because there seem to be so many possible perspectives that could be involved in this discussion, and there are a lot of perspectives as far as I can tell. The meeting's been called by Kanyapan, Dhanalakshmi, Archana, Wazo, Dominique. So, before I go further with reading out the content of the meeting, I'd like to draw your attention to the small piece of paper you might have in your hand or might be on a seat beside you. Yes, good, all right. I'm just going to read this out. The psychic self-control that is desirable in these surroundings and in the midst of discussion would mean, among other things, 1. Not to allow the impulse of speech to assert itself too much or say anything without reflection, but to speak always with a conscious control and only what is necessary and helpful. 2. To avoid all debate, dispute, or too animated discussion and simply say what has to be said and leave it there. There should also be no insistence that you are right and others are wrong. But what is said should only be thrown in as a contribution to the consideration of the truth of the matter. 3. To keep the tone of the speech and the wording very quiet and calm and uninsistent. 4. Not to mind at all if others are heated and dispute, but remain calm and undisturbed, and yourself speak only what can help things to be smooth again. 5. If there is gossip about others and harsh criticism, not to join, for these things are helpful in no way and only lower the consciousness from its higher level. 6. To avoid all that would hurt or wound others. Okay, then I draw your attention to the text, a dream. There should be somewhere upon earth a place that no nation can claim as its sole property, a place where all human beings of goodwill, sincere in their aspiration, could live freely as citizens of the world, obeying one single authority, that of the supreme truth, a place of peace, concord, harmony, where all the fighting instincts of man would be used exclusively to conquer the causes of his suffering and misery, to surmount his weakness and ignorance, to triumph over his limitations and incapacities, a place where the needs of the spirit and the care for progress would get precedence over the satisfaction of desires and passions, the seeking for pleasures and material enjoyments. And so I'd like to ask everybody to just take a moment of silence. Okay, so I'm going to read the content of today's meeting as far as the announcement is concerned. Following the occupation of a house in Reve by a group of Aurovillians to, quote, accomplish a healing process, they invite the RA, the Residents' Assembly, to this general meeting to share points of views on the diverse issues raised by the situation in Reve and to find